After the 2 weeks of like all the cultural and racial, ethnic analysis on Hollywood and fans in general, I figured this week we should do something a little bit light. Or lighter. We should talk a little bit about the Jon Watts Spider-Man trilogy. Because that's not divisive at all. There's a kind of, and I'm going to use the word revisionist culture that we have in fandom where something comes out and it is really, really, really good. So suddenly everything that came before it was bad and horrible, and oh my God, thank God we dodged a bullet. Unless, of course, it turns out to not be what we hoped for and imagined, in which case, oh my gosh, I wish it was like what we had before. There's really no pleasing fandom at all. And so here we are. Destin and team created Brand New Day, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and it is delicious, and it is so beautiful, and it is so on point. And so we are back to talking about the Jon Watts trilogy and how people, because I am chronically online, I see these things, how people tend to act and spew about the Jon Watts trilogy. Now, in a very real sense, I have friends who have genuine thoughts and disagreements in terms of how Jon may have handled the franchise. But we're all armchair commentators at the end of the day. And so we give each other grace in terms of our thoughts and how we feel about the whole thing. But it was really interesting, when the first trailer for Brand New Day dropped and everybody was like, yes, finally, this is what Peter Parker is supposed to be. He's supposed to be tortured. Yes, yes, feel the pain, feel the pain. Listen, if the major takeaway that you get from a Spider-Man movie or comic is, yes, finally, he's in pain and he's tortured, then that is the wrong message that you're living with. And, to paraphrase something Elizabeth Gilbert said in one of her earlier TED Talks, maybe it's better for our heroes to live and be happy and thrive. I'm just saying. Because the beauty of Marvel Comics is that it's meant to be a mirror to us. You are the hero, just like Peter, just like Miles, just like any of them. It's heightened reality of where you live spiritually and mentally. It's ego and id, Bruce and Hulk. These are all you. This is all you. That's you. That's where you live on a daily basis. Not me, though. I don't live there. I already was, shall we say, financially stunted as a nerdy teenager. I don't need Peter Parker reminding me about that life. I've lived it. I was more of the, imagining a great apartment on a news reporter's salary, or being an architect like Jon Stewart. That's where I lived. But the point is that your heroes may have their inner and outer conflicts, but that's not all that they are. That's not all that they should be. And Jon was setting us up, building a platform, a really good platform, so that this version of Peter, this reality, this more adult reality of Peter, can be expressed as beautifully as it was. But Jon really set up the idea and the notion of this teenager and what he is going through in a beautiful way and sensibility that we really should just give him a break in terms of how he put things together. Walk with me a minute. Homecoming is a graduation event. Peter is graduating, not just in terms of the school, it's about becoming more than the suit. It's like Tony Stark says, if you're nothing without the suit, well, tough beans. So when Peter finds himself, like that one scene where he finds himself under the rubble and he has to ascend, he has to pass this test, this graduation moment of being Spider-Man. That's his homecoming. That's him, his moment of graduation. Far From Home plays into that biblical story that leads into the whole Good Samaritan, where the question was asked of Jesus, who is my neighbor? So, sure, Peter is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man when he's in Queens, but when he's in Europe, does he just stand by? Who is his neighbor when he's not at home in the US, when he's not in his comfort zone? You know, he's in another country, in another continent. What does a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man mean in that context? That's Far From Home. No Way Home is beautiful because there is quite literally no going back after this. Peter is exposed, and it's not just exposed to the interdimensional villains or the rest of society. He is physically, socially, mentally, and emotionally exposed like a nerve, like a blood vessel. And by the time all of it ends, he's alone. Aunt May is dead. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. Aunt May is dead. His own lover and best friend don't remember him. There is no way back. There is no way back to the home that he knew. So now he has to build himself. He has to figure out what it means to be this hero by himself. And if one of the lessons that you get out of it is, especially for someone like me who dives headfirst into work and at 12 a.m. I'm still working. How do you find the balance? He is more the spider than the man, as one of the characters had to explain to him. And yes, we have Jean is doing Jean things, but Peter also sort of becomes a type of mentor to her. All of that is good. All of that is important. All of that is, brilliant. But without Jon's trilogy of setting up what it means to be a teenager with superpowers, because that's the whole thing. He is a teenager with superpowers. You hear Stan Lee talking about how he thought of Spider-Man. The crux of it is, what does it mean as a teenager? As a teenager, you know what being a teenager was like. So that's it. Jon says, this is all what teenage drama is like. This is the Breakfast Club meets superhero-dom. And it sets it up in a way that now anyone, or rather anyone competent and with a brain, can take that baton and run with it. That's what Jon gave us in that trilogy. And I think we need to have a little bit more respect in terms of what we had as we look forward to the ever-expanding universe of Peter and what it could mean for him moving forward. And that's it. That's it for me. I think that's it for me. That's it for our Spider-Man talk today. Give Jon Watts a break. Even as we go on to congratulate Destin and team on a $2 billion run. And it shows no signs of stopping. That was well done and well deserved. So congrats to the current Spider-Man team, and congrats to you, Jon, for setting this up brilliantly.